years ago, I moved to Playa del Carmen with my, at the time, Mexican boyfriend. Now we're married. In those last 4 years, we worked from home and spent literally 24/7 together traveling and making YouTube videos. Since Geovanny returned to work, I for the first time am having to do things by myself out in Playa del Carmen. It's been about 5 months of adjustment, so I felt it was finally time to share the full experience of what it's actually like to live in Playa del Carmen as an almost solo female. We're starting our day super early in the Zazilhan neighborhood. I got invited to a sunrise yoga session on this lovely rooftop. Alright, so I'm going to choose 7 cards from the deck. This is Erin. She's also from South Africa, which is awesome. She lives in Playa del Carmen seasonally and offers group and private sessions.
Have you done yin yoga before? No, not that. Oh, okay.
Since this was my first time doing yin yoga, it was really nice to have a private session. Just before we actually started, Erin asked me to set an intention for the day, and my intention was to stay as present throughout the day as I possibly could. Through the session, Erin read out the affirmations I pulled, and my body and my mind gradually went into such a state of relaxation.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Firstly, Erin is awesome. I think as South African women, you know, we don't often get the opportunity to meet other South Africans in Mexico. There's not a whole lot of us here, so it was really nice to be able to connect on that level. But the actual yoga itself, I loved it. That setup that she's got on the top floor, so beautiful. It was so peaceful and quiet, so early in the morning. Very good. At this point my microphone cut out, but I was just saying how nice it was to be able to say hello to all the dogs for however long I wanted without Geovanny standing and getting annoyed with me. It is such a beautifully clear day today. I can actually see Cozumel right in front of me across the ocean super clearly. And from here I don't see any sargassum yet. I don't know. Sometimes you can only see on the beach. Truthfully, we don't visit the beach that often, which is a shame. We only live about 15 minutes from the beach, but without a car it takes much longer. Something I adore about Playa is its size. It's big enough to not run into someone every time you're out, but it's also small enough to only take around 30 minutes to get from one side of the city to the other. I kind of wish that I brought my bathing suit, but I didn't, so I'm just going to enjoy the sand and the sound of the ocean. But something I would just like to mention is how blessed we have been this year with the sargassum. Some days are obviously worse than others, but I mean today is absolutely beautiful. You can see that the cleanup team has been around, but there's barely any sargassum in the water. It's so beautiful. I visited the beach a week earlier and there was a bit of sargassum on the sand, but the water was pretty clear. The sargassum situation literally changes daily, so it's impossible to predict, but there are resources you can check out that will keep you up to date. By the way, this is Pelicanos Beach, which we love because it tends to be really quiet and peaceful before 11 a.m. For a few pesos, you've got access to well-maintained and clean bathrooms and changing facilities. I really enjoy Playa in the mornings. The streets are so quiet and you can still hear all the birds. Plus the energy is also so calm. Sí, muchas gracias. Gracias. I actually had dengue, a pretty bad case of dengue in January. According to the World Health Organization, dengue is a viral infection transmitted to humans through the bite of an infected mosquito. You could go to the hospital, but they're just going to tell you to stay hydrated and keep your temperature down. I was at home and in bed for about 9 days until I felt better. I hope that you never get it. It sucks. One of the major side effects of dengue is you can lose a lot of hair. It might be a few months later. I don't know if that's the reason that I'm losing so much hair, but I'm losing hair in crazy amounts. That's why I'm actually headed to Plaza Las Americas. I want to go and see if I can get a hair appointment. To be honest, I didn't make an appointment, but it's the morning time, so they might have something available. Coffee was really good, the mango was alright, a little bit on the pricey side for what you get, but not bad. It's a nice vibe, it's nice and quiet down here. The servers were really friendly, all of them greeted me, so yeah. Hola. By the way, if you're thinking to move to Playa del Carmen, Geovanny and I took all of the knowledge that we learned in the last 4 years, besides all of the time Geovanny spent growing up in Playa del Carmen, and we packed it into a highly informational ebook. You'll find things like the bus routes, which areas are best to stay in, which areas are best to avoid, how to pay your bills, how to find rentals, all of that good stuff. So you can find that over at fortheroadtravels.com. In addition to that, you're also directly supporting us and our channel and making it possible for us to get back on the road again to keep on showing more of Mexico to you. I always love coming down to the 5th Avenue, specifically like the souvenir stores before midday, because it's typically so quiet. But as soon as 11 a.m. midday hits, so many people, but right now it's just so quiet. It's lovely. I just had to pop into one of these souvenir stores to get a new couch cover, and what I mean by couch cover is one of these classic Mexican blankies. Everyone that moves to Playa eventually ends up owning one of these, and they're pretty good. They're cheap, but they're durable. If you grab a taxi very close to the 5th Avenue and some other specific spots like right outside the grocery stores, they charge what they call a site fee. Typically doubles your, what do you call it, your fare. Geovanny and I always catch taxis a little bit away from the 5th Avenue because then we tend to get more of like a local rate. Before Geovanny went to work, I never had to travel in taxis alone. Even though this part of Mexico is pretty safe, I always make sure to stay aware of my surroundings just in case. So far, I've mostly had pleasant experiences with the taxi drivers. Gracias, hasta luego. So I'm glad I got an early start to my day, but you know how I was saying earlier how things tend to be really quiet before 10, 11 a.m. in the morning? It's not just that people are not out, it's also that restaurants and stores tend to only open later in the day, like 10, 11, midday sometimes even. So I'm in the main shopping center in Playa del Carmen right now, and it's 10:30 and almost everything is still shut. 3 en la tarde. Okay, gracias. Tengo un okay, so no hair today. Actually, we are having a bit of a load shedding day today, which means they're cutting out the electricity, but they did notify us. I knew that we weren't going to have electricity in our own neighborhood. I didn't realize that Plaza Las Americas would be down as well until 3 p.m. One of the most beneficial things about living parts of my life on my own now is that I've become a lot more fluent in Spanish. When I'm alone, more people approach me, and this has given me the confidence to speak Spanish without feeling afraid to make a mistake. In saying that, I had literally just asked this lady, ¿Dónde está el queso de cobra? Which means, where is the cobra cheese? But nevertheless, I ended up finding the goat cheese I was looking for. Cerca la quecas. Sí, gracias. Hey, Steve. Hi. Hi, cheeky boy. Apparently, oh, yes, my little boobs. It's going to be out until 3 p.m. today. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's go, cheeky boy. Cheeky boy, do you know they could have a cleaning afternoon? Hey, are you going to clean with me, cheeky boy? Just in terms of beauty treatment, hair, nails, waxing, that kind of thing, I find that there is no real service standard. In the other countries I've lived in, including South Africa, you have a certain expectation based on where you are, what the price point is, and that is typically met. But if it's not met, you say, listen, I'm not happy, can we come to a resolution together? Here in Mexico, it's not really taken very well, even if it is completely warranted. That's the reason why I don't have my place, you know, the place that I'm loyal to, that I go back to time and time again, because you just really don't know what to expect. So remember we went to buy Mexican blankies on the 5th Avenue. When I bought them, I had no idea that they were actually different colors, but it's okay. It's just to cover this temporary couch. We're hopefully getting a new one this year, a nicer one, a cleaner one. You know how they said we'd be getting electricity back at 3 p.m? We got electricity back at 9:30 p.m, but it actually works out really well. You know, in that yoga class, I had set the intention that I want to be as present throughout the day as possible. Well, I had nothing charged, so I literally sat at home with Ted, colored in. It was a beautiful day. I just want to revisit the dengue thing with my hair. So I ended up going and getting my hair cut because, I mean, it's still falling out, not as badly as it was about a week ago. And then I went to a dermatologist, and right away she was like, yeah, dengue has a huge negative effect on your hair. It's very common 2 to 3 months after having dengue to lose, she said, up to about 50% of your hair. But she said it's not permanent. She said it'll take a few months to, all grow back out again. I've got a whole laundry list of lotions and potions that she prescribed, so we're waiting for that to come via Amazon Mexico, which is an option here if you were wondering. Other than that, if you have never watched our channel before and you've never met Geovanny, here's my beautiful esposo hermoso.
Hola.
Hola. If you watched our channel before, you obviously know Geovanny.
As you might know, I start working again during this time while Simone is working on for the road. Aside of that, this is the year we're going to do some renovations in our house. So we're gonna just give you a little quick tour of what we have done so far. We painted this wall. No, that thing we cannot take it off.
No.
But we painted this other wall that it was red. The most important thing is changing the color of this wall because Simone is complaining ever since she stepped in this house.
Come on, that is very abrupt to wake up to. We painted all the walls.
We painted all the walls.
Yeah.
I put an AC. AC is super important in this region because it's getting hot. Like, I'm actually sweating right now.
It's so
I'm
hot.
actually sweating right now. We got a new bed. We got it from this brand.
Show us what we've got.
This is the base.
That's the base.
Yeah.
Ooh, it looks nice, eh? It's coming together really nicely. I'm very happy with the wood, the color of the wood, the build, everything.
One has to be in each corner, right?
Yes. What are we doing next, Maestro?
Most of these things, architectural changes in the house, are Simone designs. And I say, approve.
Yes.
Happy life, happy wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. We want to get rid of this wall to make the living room.
Yeah, it's just a
rock sheet.
Rock sheet.
So we currently store all of our clothes in this area. So what we want to do in this side of the bedroom is set up a closet. So we can put everything out from there to here. Simone wants to put a couch.
Yeah, this is going to turn into our lounge.
A lounge, a living room, more comfortable. And last but not least, but I think this is...
We've never shown you guys this before because I've always been embarrassed of it, but it is what it is.
Yes. And last but not least, this is like the biggest project of the house renovation. We'll be making a bigger... We will be making a utility room here. Here we would like to make some...
Yeah. Picture a hammock.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful, but this is going to have a massive storage closet.
We're very grateful for what we have, I think, and this is like enough space for a couple and a dog and probably a baby in the near future.
Are you under your palm tree, my little bear? Is this your favorite spot in the whole world?
Huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hot.
So if you already know our story, the last 4 years, Geovanny and I were attached at the hip. We were like Velcro. So in terms of my personal safety, I never really thought about it so much. But obviously now that I'm like venturing out into Playa by myself, I'm walking Ted by myself, it's something that is at the forefront of my mind, and it's something that I've been more conscious of in the last few months. I feel 95% safe. Something that I've noticed is the men in this region of Mexico are pretty docile. I'd actually like to hear your opinion. As a Mexican male from this region of Mexico, what is your personal opinion on female safety?
Has been something very cultural.
What?
Like the staring at a woman or doing like
whistling,
the whistling. Yes, I think it's
it's accepted culturally.
I would say it's common. I even been with her, and there have been trucks passing by and say something like whistling to her or saying something inappropriate. I think as a Mexican male, I feel ashamed of us.
That happens here. It definitely does. There's not a lot of respect in terms of that. However, the good thing to know is that stuff is not typically acted upon. The men here are docile. The men are not aggressive. You don't really have anything to fear.
Not generalizing from the entire country. This region, it's safe for
females, in general. So we're not posting to YouTube as regularly as we used to. We will eventually get back to that when our life situation changes, but we are doing the best that we can right now, so we appreciate you guys watching so much. But other than that, we do our monthly newsletter where we share exclusive information, behind the scenes, discount codes, that kind of thing. You can find the link below, of course. And then fortheroadtravels.com, you'll find all of our travel resources as well as the Living in Playa del Carmen guide and our blog posts that have got a ton of information on this region of Mexico. So if you're missing us on YouTube, there is somewhere else where you can go find more recent stuff.
If you enjoyed today's half solo or 3/4 of a solo video. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed to our channel. And that being said, we will see you in the next episode.
Hasta luego.